thrill me.
I'm gonna name you Kodo. You get a name too, Podo.
His name is Happy Harry Hardon. He's a total sex maniac.
Of course.
Welcome, everybody, to the first Q's and T's installment of Season 3 of the Unkind Rewind, where each week we dive into our guests' past with a movie that they have not seen in often decades. And then we rewatch it and see how it held up, which often didn't hold up well. Sometimes it does, though. Sometimes it surprises us. We don't pick movies solely to excoriate them or laugh and shit on them. As always, I'm Josh Dugan, your host. I'm joined by my co-host, Sean McGrath. Sean, how are things?
Things are good. I just finished a little stint working over at the New York Independent Film Fest.
Nice.
Small I on independent. These are things I doubt you will ever hear of.
Okay.
And it precedes the Tribeca Film Fest here in New York, which are going to be things that you probably can't not hear about.
Yeah, that they're rolling out Oscar campaigns for.
Yeah. Tribeca's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Is De Niro's like directly involved with Tribeca Film Festival, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he
was in the beginning at least.
He's got to still be, getting a check, so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's sitting on some dais of judges, but
sure,
he's definitely involved. I would bet $100 that he's not looking over submissions.
No.
Sitting there with his laptop and a bunch of like unlisted Vimeo links.
Yeah.
Just going through filmmaker submissions. But yeah, I'm sure he's involved. I'm sure he's, his name's on some board.
Did you see anything you liked?
I saw a really weird movie called In the Name of Fire, I want to say. And it's like North Indian. It's shot in black and white.
Okay.
Except for maybe the last 10 minutes. And it's this very poor couple with a newborn. And the father has to go into town. I don't know what town it is. And make some money. And he's just hustling, right? He's he does like a midnight to dawn stint papering Bollywood posters around town. And then he gets burned by the guy who hired him and doesn't get paid. So then he bounces over and he starts selling newspapers. And I think it's over the course of like a couple of days. And basically all he's doing is trying to make money for milk because his poor wife is so poor and hungry that she's not producing.
Yeah.
So it's not really a pick-me-up, I would say.
Sounds fun. It sounds really fun.
Yeah, it sounds like kind of a blockbuster summer hit that you would expect from kind of a black and white Northern Indian drama.
Yeah, about the dire straits of poverty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds fun. In a third world country.
Yeah, it's kind of like an Ocean's 11 meets like Grown Ups.
Yeah, totally.
That's the vibe.
And to be clear, I mean third world. Like India obviously has different. There's a caste system. So. Much of India is not third world, but this sounds like it's very much third world.
Yeah, the caste system is talked about a lot. Like there's people who I can't remember the lowest caste in India. I know that the Brahmin is the high point. You're a Brahmin, right? Or half Brahmin?
Alas, no.
Oh, you're like lowest or second lowest?
I'm not Brahmin. Yeah.
You're definitely not Brahmin. Okay.
Yeah.
But like you've stolen valor on the Brahmin caste to like get discounts and stuff, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just say I worked with Kamal Hassan, so.
Oh, sure, yeah.
India's Tom Hanks.
Right. Well, let's.
They don't need to know I was just a PA on that.
Let's move on from that. I didn't know that you worked with him.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That should get you some street cred over there.
It has like mildly impressed random Indians when I've dropped that.
Oh yeah, I would definitely drop that. Yeah. I might steal that.
I then tell them that it was maybe the worst. Well, one of the worst experiences filming wise that I had while living in LA. So.
Did you ever see the end product?
No, never happened. Never came out. They
wow.
shot 3 weeks, and they were supposed to shoot. Originally, it was going to be a 4-week shoot. After 1 week, they had to add a whole nother week because of how much they'd blown the schedule in the first week. Always a bad sign.
Yeah.
At the end of 1 week, having to add another 20% to the shooting schedule. Or I guess it was 25%. Yeah, 25%.
The omens were there.
Yeah, 100%. And then at the end of 3 weeks, like with a day left, we were all told, well, tomorrow's the last day. And then he got in like a skiing accident or something, and he was directing, writing, and starring in it. And to my knowledge, it was never completed after that.
Where was this being shot?
They were always intending to shoot most of it in India, but it was sort of a vanity thing of sorts for him to be able to shoot some of it in America.
Yeah.
To show that you'd arrived.
And probably better skiing.
I think he was not skiing in the U.S. when he was injured.
Maybe he was actually skiing in the Himalayas.
But yeah, he broke his leg. Like, it was a pretty bad skiing accident. Not Sonny Bono bad.
Yeah.
Too soon?
No, that's not. We drop a Sonny Bono reference kind of every episode. So
okay, sure. So you were working on the film fest. What else have you been up to? We haven't really talked in like what, a month and a half, 2 months?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, certainly not on mic,
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going back to Japan.
Okay.
End of the month. We'll just say summer.
Sure.
I'll be there in the summer, which is not recommended, really. It's kind of a muggy country during the summer. It is what it is. I'll be going with a friend of the show, Chris Dawson.
Okay.
And he is a Japanese speaker, so it'll be great to kind of have, that advantage. And I've been getting better at it. I would say I'm still going to kind of struggle to explain that I've been robbed by the Yakuza or beaten up by the Yakuza.
Which will happen.
Yeah. I mean, God. I mean, with my back tats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like super antagonistic.
Yeah. You're basically baiting them into attacking you.
And you know me, just like my personality, right?
Yeah.
Is
100%.
such a like thumb in the eye of kind of the cultures that I jump into. I really like to stick out.
You're the classic bad American tourist.
Yeah. I'm kind of like that Russian that's like being held in Singapore right now and probably going to be. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. I like to disrupt. I like the attention.
Yeah.
I like to disrespect the cultures that I'm in.
You're kind of like an Australian tourist, but without the charming accent that offsets any of the kind of like more aggressive tendencies.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Mr. Bean.
All obnoxious, no charm.
Yeah, Mr. Bean, fish out of water scenario if Mr. Bean loved cocaine.
Yeah. Loved cocaine.
And let's not even suggest that you and I are joking right now. So that this can forever come back to haunt me.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Good. Okay, good. Moving on.
Are you at all worried about being able to get back through customs? I recently went through this.
God.
Yeah.
Did they bring up the unkind rewind where we were just like shit talking the election? They're like, what is this?
I mean, I don't know which one that would be.
Oh yeah. I mean, there was one that was like pretty.
I know there was one that I cut a lot out of the public feed on the audio version.
Yeah.
I definitely, so one of my group chats, we've moved over to Signal.
Interesting.
And
intentionally,
I deleted Signal while I was going through, because we were at least going through auto, not through airports. So we were ground.
Okay.
We were ground, but I had to go through 4 different checkpoints.
Jeez, I haven't been up to
Canada.
Haven't been up to Canada to kind of know what like normal standard is. So how did this...
Some weren't bad. Like we came through. So like a month ago, we did a trip where we drove through the UP, crossed over to Saint Marie, went to Ottawa, Sudbury, Ottawa, Montreal, and Quebec City.
But you're...
And then we crossed back over. We came south into Maine in like one of those border checkpoints that seriously, there's like nothing for 30 miles once you get into the U.S. So...
But you're still just having to prove you're an American at these checkpoints, not that you're a quote-unquote good American.
Right. At least for the time being. But they could randomly pull you aside.
Like Jesse Plemons isn't there with a AR-15.
No.
Asking
it's not full on Civil War yet.
Okay.
Maybe I lucked out. I don't know how things are going to be for you coming back.
Yeah, I mean, your wife is still there, but like you're okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would have been fine if they told me I had to stay in Canada. Like,
you had a good time.
Yeah, I like Canada.
A lot of what you do in life can be done from Canada.
Entirely.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of the things that I like, I can do in Canada.
It's your Yankee wife.
Yep.
Your Yankee wife keeping you in the States.
God damn her. Just
losing all the Head Start time you have to get out.
Yeah. But the border checkpoints weren't that bad. For me, but I was like, okay, well, I'm going to delete and reinstall Signal.
Just in case.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not that there's anything super inflammatory, but like that is definitely where we vent about political stuff.
Yeah, you're not glazing Guy Fawkes and plotting on Signal. I know that you do that in person.
Yeah. That would be in person. We've got to have all the blockers, the scramblers, all that. That has to be in place.
Yeah, you go to the warehouse on 3rd.
I'm not reckless.
No. Any more trips for you this year?
We're just doing this one was kind of rare. We haven't done a bunch of traveling since we've been back. I think the plan is to go to Costa Rica in like February.
Nice.
Or March. But there's nothing between now and then other than like we're going to the cabin, but that doesn't really count. And then we're going to the North Shore.
Is the Costa Rica trip, is that scout for like an exit strategy or?
I wish. It'd probably be easier to migrate there, to emigrate there than to Canada. So yeah, maybe.
And you know the language in Costa Rica a little bit better than you know Canadian slang.
I watched a lot of Degrassi, Sean. How dare you?
Oh, and didn't you watch Trailer Park Boys?
Oh, yeah. So and Shoresy and Letterkenny. Okay. Part of the reason we took the route we did was that it was going through Sudbury, which is where Shoresy takes place.
How are you with that accent, though? That's going to be the totally thing that you can...
I've been living in Minnesota long enough that it really
call people hosers?
Yeah, I can call a person a hoser.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put some sting on it.
But yeah, other than like a North Shore thing, I don't think we're really planning on anything between now and the presumed Costa Rica trip.
Well, if you find yourself in Japan in the summer, let me know.
Yeah, will do.
Yeah, because occasionally you and I are in the same city. We don't really know it until we touch base.
This has happened more than once.
Yeah. We're like, oh, wait, you're in Los Angeles?
Yeah. Oh, wait, we're both in Austin?
That's weird.
We were both in LA too, and we didn't even get to meet up, right?
No, I don't. You were definitely working on something.
I was working, yeah.
And getting around LA is super easy. So
yeah.
It wasn't like, hey, I'll swing by in 10 minutes, which I could have been done in Austin for sure.
Yeah, well, sort of. It's not as easy as it should be in Austin, but whatever.
But 20-25 minutes and not 2 hours.
It's worse in Austin now. Like, traffic is markedly worse. We happen to be staying in neighborhoods that were relatively close to one another in Austin. If I was staying south, we probably would have just died. All right. Yeah, anyway, what have you been up to other than New York Film Fest? New York Independent Film Fest, that's what it's called, right?
Yeah, you have to hit that independent.
Small I.
I picked up one of the many New York viruses that's going around.
Okay.
That's been fun.
Hantavirus?
It's probably Hanta. Yeah, they didn't test for it, but it's process of elimination.
Yeah.
So
you're going to be the second person to die from it this year?
Well, yeah, but it's weird because like my religion is spider handling.
Yeah.
I do.
You'd be immune.
I do a lot of that at like, revivals.
Sure. Yeah.
I think at this point, considering how many times I've been bit, yeah, it wouldn't come up. It must have been like a really deep bite or I don't know.
How did you get into arachnotheology or arachnotheism?
I mean, I'd like to say that I found it, as a young man, but I mean, it's so cliche to say, but
was it a Madam Web scenario?
No, one of my parents didn't die in the Amazon.
Okay.
Researching spiders. It was just a religion that you're born into, and again,
okay.
It sounds cliche.
Yeah, sure.
But like that's what a lot of people kind of adopt. It's just what I knew growing up.
No, is this like Zoroastrianism where your mother has to have been born a Zoroastrian?
Yeah, she's pure.
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
Cool.
And they did their tests, of course, on her before she was allowed in the tent. But yeah, I mean, I it's weird to say, but like I don't know what this life would be like without arachnotheology.
Sure. It's fair.
And frankly, and I've told you this before, I don't want to know.
Yeah. When you're born into such a select few, a group of such a prestigious group, I don't think you'd want to know any different.
And even with your paganism that you've kind of, espoused, you're always invited,
yeah, sure.
Especially when we have the big gatherings every year.
Well, thanks.
But yeah, I mean, so the Hanta, I think I don't think it's going to stick around for more than a couple months.
Okay.
I'll probably bring it and spread it to Japan.
Sure. Maybe we should try to make sure this episode doesn't go out to Japan.
Yeah, because I probably won't be allowed in if it drops before,
Right.
their customs.
Yeah.
Which is a pain in the ass flight to go there and then get shot down. And then you have to tuck your tail between your legs and I don't know, go to Korea or something.
I mean, I was going to assume that they would shunt you off to Korea because, of
North
history.
Korea, of course.
Well, I don't think Japan cares either way, which
Korea?
Part of Korea they're sending to. Yeah.
I definitely know that if you're talking to South Koreans, you refer to the country as Korea. Just heads up.
Yeah.
You don't do that South thing.
Right.
But yeah, let's see. Game's still going good. Cinequote's doing well. We're kind of up around the 5,000 mark, which is good.
Yeah, I fucking missed Game 900.
What was it?
I don't know. But I played I play every game, but
but it was a week.
Yeah, I went over a week because of trip or some nonsense. And I was out of rhythm, and so I played 899 and then couldn't go back to 900, so I played 901.
God. I could get you the game. I don't know if it would work, but I could get you the game.
Right.
I'm sure it was not any way related to 900, but yeah, we will have a lot of fanfare leading up to Game 1000, which I think is whatever, 2.5 months, 3 months, something like that.
Yeah, probably August or September.
Yeah, we'll do something big for that. Seen a couple Mets games already, which is fun. It's fun when, the team's doing well.
Yeah.
Which they are right now. I guess the Yankees are doing well, but whatever.
Yeah, who cares?
Brian's
going to be up here in a month. Our guest, Brian.
What's up here mean?
Minnesota.
Okay.
He's coming to Twin Cities. I know he's going to go to a game on the Thursday. We're not going to be here quite yet. We're going to be coming back from the cabin. And so the first day he's here, he's going to a game there.
It's always good to do a itinerary for former guests on the show. Where we just go through.
I didn't say what week it's going to be.
No, but we should, check in with all prior guests.
Yeah.
Find out what their summer plans are.
Conan had fun in Japan.
Right. He dodged the Hanta that I will be bringing.
Yeah.
They let him back in.
They did. Yeah. He's been on tour. So West Coast people, I feel like he just wrapped up tour. And by the time this drops, he will have, I believe.
Okay. So you hopefully got a chance to see him, is what we're saying.
No. The Minneapolis shows, I was out of town.
No, not you. The royal you, like our listeners. If you.
Oh yes. The listeners
hopefully
got a chance to see Conan.
if he came to your
Secret Friends.
your town.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then as I kind of alluded to, I'm still very much a student at the Japanese Society of New York. It kind of sucks because it's literally next to a Trump hotel.
Yeah.
It's up by the UN, and there's a goddamn Trump property up there that I don't know why people go to. There's a lot of hotels here. But I really like those people. I really like the teachers. And getting better. I mean, learning a language in your 40s is tough. No joke. So there's no easy button, too, or something like that. It's just the drudgery of repetition.
Sure, you can't just watch B. Takeshi movies.
No, can't watch
and be okay.
Sonatine and fireworks.
Takashi Miike.
I think if you watch too many Takashi Miike movies, you won't want to study Japanese. That's presumable. I've seen some crazy Takashi Miike shit.
Same. I've seen probably like a dozen Takashi Miike movies. So.
Yeah. What's the one for you that like? Is it Audition still that like comes to mind as like the embodiment of his aesthetic?
To me, it's probably either Visitor Q or Ichi the Killer.
Ichi, yeah.
The Audition is like more subdued early on than a lot of Takashi Miike is.
I think Ichi is a good representative.
Yeah. I mean, I love, like, 13 Assassins is great.
That feels so, like, off-brand in a lot of ways.
Well, he did that, was Blade of the Immortal or whatever the hell that was called. That one was more in the same vein as 13 Assassins. 13 Assassins is crazy violent.
Absolutely. But
it's not as extreme in other ways as, say, Ichi the Killer or Visitor Q, which isn't violent, but is...
There's some torture
foul
elements, certainly, too, in some of the modern stuff that he does.
Yeah.
That I feel like doesn't come up in the samurai stuff. Like, the samurai is just straight up killing. Like, sure, you get beheaded, but, like, you're not going to feel that.
But it's at least funny, too.
Yeah, he has a very dark sense of humor.
Yes.
Very, very dark.
Very dark. A strong recommend.
Oh, yeah.
For anyone who wants to watch. I love Takashi Miike.
And I'm looking forward to meeting him. I assume I'll just run into him when I'm
you guys will hang out.
Yeah. And maybe I'll pitch coming on the show,
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Love to have him.
Okay. I just wanted to get clearance from you first. And
if you see the guys from Guitar Wolf, ask them if they want to come on too.
Okay, yeah. As long as both of us approve a guest.
Yeah, sure. 100%.
Because you said some no's to some pretty big names that I've pitched you. We don't want to bring them up right now, but...
Said no to George Clooney.
Kristen Chenoweth knows what she did.
Yeah.
She knows what she did.
Lee Pace. Nope.
Ooh, yeah. God, I remember that. I don't know what was going on.
That was a knockdown drag-out fight between you and me.
Yeah, but I mean, now that you explain more of like what was happening, like backstory.
No, it makes sense.
I just didn't know any of that. When we were talking about having him on.
Yeah,
I get it now.
Oh, so I should say when this episode drops, I think I'll have just been on Movie Night Extravaganza talking Jackie Brown.
Oh wow, okay.
So I think that'll have dropped Tuesday, the 17th, and I believe this episode drops on the 19th. So.
You used to be beautiful, man.
So yeah, that's cool. I've got Jackie Brown isn't streaming anywhere, so I just bought the Steelbook Blu-ray 4K of it, and I bought Rum Punch that I'm going to try to read this weekend before I'm on. Also.
Okay, so what is the kind of the unkind rewind question to you on Jackie Brown? When's the last time you saw it?
I saw it like last year.
Okay, so this probably 5 to 10 times.
Not that many, probably 3 or 4. Okay. But it's since the episode's already come out, I would say that this is probably Jackie Brown is probably my favorite QT movie.
Really? Okay. I mean, I sucker for pulp. I still like Reservoir quite a bit.
I mean, I appreciate what pulp is doing, but it's also like just runtime wise, it's a half hour longer than I want to be able to sit down for. Maybe, honestly, 45 minutes.
So if you had to break down low tier, mid tier, high tier, where would you put the Kill Bills?
Okay, so I haven't seen Hateful Eight. I just have continued to not watch it.
I would, I mean, do you know what I'm going to say?
I would co-sign not watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't seen that. I would say the top tier is probably Jackie Brown, Pulp Fiction, and then maybe Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Mid tier's probably Reservoir Dogs. Kill Bill's got to be bottom tier.
Wow. Okay, I'm definitely higher on both of those for Kill Bill.
Maybe the first one. I'm not wild about the second one at all.
So Inglourious.
I think Inglourious goes in that tier with that. I'm not. Shit. Maybe.
And Django.
Yeah.
What about Death Proof?
Oh, Death Proof is the bottom.
Yeah.
That's the bottom. That's like, I don't even know if that should count. Like, I do not like Death Proof.
I hope you love voiceover when you get to Hateful Eight of Quentin Tarantino's voice.
I mean,
I hope you love it.
You know that I routinely complain about voiceover.
I hope you love hearing Quentin Tarantino throughout that whole movie.
I would not.
Yeah.
Have you watched the longer Netflix version where it's broken into 4 episodes?
Fuck no.
Okay.
I saw that movie on like Christmas
I'm just
Day.
asking because I was hoping that those didn't have VO.
Oh, I'm sure. Look, if he has any say in the matter, I'm sure that he is only amped up the VO. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think there's a tier of 3. The 3 that I gave. I think Reservoir Dogs and Kill Bill Volume 1 are maybe the next tier. And then there's a third, like the C tier would be Volume 2, Django, and Inglourious. And then the last tier would be Death Proof.
Wow, yeah.
By itself.
I mean, his segment in 4 Rooms is better than Death Proof.
Well, especially, like, if you lived in Austin at the time, Death Proof was the most fucking irritating. Like, they're just name-dropping Austin places for cred or some bullshit. The first 20 minutes is unwatchable if you were living in Austin at the time.
Yeah, sounds cringy.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll have just talked about my favorite QT movie on Movie Night Extravaganza.
So go over there.
Conan
There's a lot of cross traffic.
Christina.
So yeah, if you haven't heard that podcast, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, tons of fun. I was just watching the Sinners episode last night because I had just seen Sinners, and I hadn't taken in any like media about Sinners like intentionally. I'd been avoiding it because I wanted to see it.
You like to go in fresh, like like Frank Costanza.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're listening to us now and you're like, God damn it, I'm not getting enough Josh Dugan, head over to Conan's podcast.
Yes. Yeah. I suppose we should talk about this next one, huh?
Yeah, we should a little bit.
Yeah. Yes. So we're about to be talking with Gabe Joyner, who is one of the co-hosts of SVU Pod, especially Heinous.
I feel like we've had 100% of the hosts of that show on.
We sure have. For the intrepid listeners, we also had Tasha on back in season 1. That was the second to last episode of season 1.
Talking the craft.
Where we talked about the craft. That was part of our month of bulk.
Yeah, our Bulkstraganza? I don't know what the proper nomenclature is. Bulkapalooza? Yeah, that was the Bulkapalooza. Feruza Bulkapalooza. Yeah. It is funner to say when you add her first name to that.
Yeah, sure, but
I mean, for
marketing purposes, you would leave it off. It's just too much. It's too long
for signage, for sure.
Yeah, for signage. Yeah. If you're making signs, it would be Bulkapalooza.
Yeah. But just in terms of the phonetic,
and it's also like, do you pronounce it like Thyrusa, which is how you should be pronouncing her name? That's how her dad would have pronounced it when he saw her blue eyes.
Which is Turkish, or what is it? Turkish for
I believe
blue?
It's Turkish, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can say it to be, respectful when she's on the show, but I think just Feruza Bulkapalooza, I think is perfectly acceptable.
But yes, so we've got Gabe joining us. This one we recorded a while back. And the SVU pod went on a hiatus for a while, and they just dropped a sort of we may or may not come back episode.
Okay. A tease.
Great timing by us to not drop that when they were still dropping episodes. But they did just drop that. It was probably a week and a half ago.
There is nothing stopping the Unkind Rewind listener from hearing this next interview with Gabe and going back to listen to old SVU pods.
Which a lot of their fans are actually doing a re-listen while they're not dropping episodes.
Yeah,
so,
like we give you permission to do that. Like we're not...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. It's a really fun podcast. Obviously, it's a SVU podcast that I'm not on. And Much My Benson is currently still in dropping old episodes that are paywalled while Adam tries to get his grips on being a dad of 2 now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're still, as of right now, still in paternity leave.
Good luck, Adam.
Yeah, good luck.
Seems like an easy job.
Yeah. So Gabe's podcast is great. Gabe's a really fun guest.
Oh, super fun.
And I know all of the people coming over from SVU Pod are gonna love these 2 episodes.
Yeah, this was a spicy one.
Oh yeah. Now next week, I didn't record video.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So next week, if you're one of the YouTube audience, there's just gonna be the one video.
Yeah. If you really need video, go to Josh's OnlyFans.
So, next week it'll just be audio only. Apologies, I fucked that up.
But I'm just saying, if they do need a video of you or me doing our thing.
Yeah, go to seanmcgrathfeet.onlyfans.com or Josh Dugan Toes.
Yeah.
At OnlyFans. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't show the feet on yours.
Just
and
toes.
I don't
Just
show my toes.
Toes. Yeah.
So I do heel, sole,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
A little Achilles.
Yeah.
But
WikiFeet doesn't know what to do with our feet.
Yeah. I think they're probably just making a composite of like your toes on my feet.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, so super fun talk with Gabe. Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
this is a good one. Everybody's seen this.
Yeah. Watch this one and then don't watch the next one because you can't. Just listen.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, without any further ado, Gabe. Welcome, everybody, to another installment of the Unkind Rewind. This week in our Q's and T's episode, we are joining up with Gabe Joyner.
Well
Is
said.
that your podcast voice?
I don't know why I said it that way.
We're joining up with Joyner.
Yeah.
Gabe, you host an SVU podcast, as do I.
Uh-huh.
I don't.
Yeah, Sean does not.
Get out of here.
I'm out.
Adam's basically on paternity leave, so
Let me
he's,
just click my
not gonna be
leave
with us
button
today.
here. But
But Gabe, why don't you let the audience know a little bit about yourself?
Me? Or the podcast?
No,
oh,
you.
me? I don't know.
the podcast
You can also talk about the podcast, obviously.
that can come up naturally as we find out
Yeah.
about you.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see. I'm a person. I don't like talking about myself. I'm a tattoo artist in Madison, Wisconsin.
Perfect.
I have a dog. I'm a swamp goblin. And I have issues with changing my clothes, not in a gross way. I just get stuck in certain clothes.
Literally stuck.
Yeah, like I can't.
Your elbow going through a thing.
Yeah.
There's a joint issue.
Yeah.
Yep. The ambulance is called on me a lot. Yeah, nothing really cool, just regular person that...
I mean, your tattoo, like your Instagram profile, the tattoos all look great.
Oh, thanks.
How long you been a tattoo artist?
Dude, on Halloween, 10 years.
Jesus.
I don't know shit about anything either. It's fucking weird. I don't know shit about dick. It's fucking awful.
Have people come back to you for multiple tattoos? Like,
Yeah,
or is it
of course.
just? Oh, I guess you know.
Yeah, but they
something.
don't know shit about anything either. You know what I mean?
They like you to come back.
I got a good personality. I'll say that.
I mean,
Personality goes
you're
a long
sitting
way.
with someone for a long time. Like, it makes sense that like that has to be kind of part of the equation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have fun. I mean, I'm not the worst tattooer in the world. I'm just not the best. I don't think. No, I'm definitely not. I just don't think It's just weird because it's been 10 years and I've been thinking about it a lot. And I'm like, I don't know anything. I just don't know anything.
Is that something that tattoo artists like recognize, like a chairside manner? You know, like that part of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
That's part of it too. It's not just like the end product.
Yeah, it just depends on how social you are. Like some people wear headphones the whole time and are just like getting the job done.
Yeah.
Honestly, sometimes I have clients that we just do not.
Sure.
I have nothing to say. We can't. You know, I mean, yesterday I had a client that it was so fun. At the end, I was like, "Do you want to be friends in real life?" And she did that like praying mantis hand thing, and she was like, "I would love that." You know, and we got phone numbers, and we'll be friends probably for the rest of our lives. You know.
Nice.
Right?
I mean, there was a client last week from Australia that I tattooed, and at the end of the tattoo, we were hugging for no reason. And she left, and I was just like, maybe they'll come visit, and we'll get bunk beds, and we'll have a fire. And then she came back 5 minutes later, and she's like, I didn't pay you. Like, we were just so lost, and like, and I'm like, I wonder how many times I fucking done that, and people haven't, like, you know. But everybody's different, you know.
Were you surprised when you started how much of it is kind of first aid?
First
Because you're
aid.
cleaning up a lot of blood, right?
Oh, no, I wasn't surprised. I mean, I had been getting tattooed before that.
Okay.
I was a tattooer, yeah. No.
Cleaning up a lot of blood is part of it.
I mean, it's not a lot. It's not like
It's
There's
more than
blood.
you think. Yeah.
there's blood. There's like certain ways you clean up your station,
Because
clean
it's
hand,
a needle
dirty hand.
going into someone's skin a lot.
It's several needles. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
Not many people do single needle tattoos anymore.
Mm.
But I mean,
many times.
yeah.
That you can't even put a counter on that. Oh, that should be pretty. That would be great to have like a little dial.
There's some videos wildly slowed down.
What it's doing slow motion.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. I can watch the slow motion like a dog drinking water from a bowl in super slow motion.
Oh my god! What's so crazy about that is their tongues aren't the dog. It's backwards.
Yeah.
It's like scooping in backwards.
Yeah, and it's like
so weird.
throwing water into
Yeah.
its mouth through a tongue.
Like, how do you survive? How have you survived like that?
No.
You know?
They're- Dogs are magic.
Yeah.
So you obviously you live in the Madison area now.
Mm-hmm.
Have you always lived there?
No. I grew up north, like until I was like 10,
What's north of Madison?
like Canada.
Yeah.
No, it's. Do you know where Lake Superior? Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah.
Like an hour south of that, on the kind of
Okay.
like Minnesota border.
You can get super specific.
Oh, like it's just called Spooner.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, sick.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's
grew up in La Crescent, so I and Sean grew up in Roseville in the Twin Cities. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
we're both upper Midwesterners for the most part.
Yeah. So
we
you
both
know.
moved around as young kids, also, but like,
Yeah.
Josh is more Heartland blood than I do.
Mm-hmm. Heartland. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't live in the town that I lived in until I was in 6th grade. Like that was the town that I went to high school. I didn't live there until I was 12.
Yeah.
So then, did your family move to Madison from Spooner, or?
They moved to Some Prairie, which is like a little kind of a suburb of Madison.
Hmm.
That's where I went to high school.
Okay,
Yeah. Lived here, and then I was out in Colorado for, I don't know, 5 years or something. So
we're in Colorado.
it started off in Fort Collins. Then it was like northern Denver. Then it was Arvada. Then it was downtown Denver. Then for a fucking minute, I was in Pueblo.
How was Pueblo?
Fucking awful. But there was like this guy that I liked.
Okay.
Ugh. And he was so blonde. I don't like blonde people. Like, especially men. Like, grow up.
Yeah,
Grow up and get some
darker
hair. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? And he had big blue eyes and blonde hair. I don't know what my problem was. And just gross.
Yeah.
And so I went down there and it was like terrible. Where else did I go? Then it was back to Fort Collins for a while. And at the time I had everything that I could fit in my car.
Okay.
And I worked remotely, so I was like just coming back and forth from Madison, and I was like, my friends were like, come for the summer. And I fucking stayed. Now I'm stuck here. Oh, so gross.
I just want to say to the blonde men listening to this that you guys
You're trash.
You're, you're good enough. Like you're enough.
Yeah.
Okay? You're enough. Gabe might hate you. And just has like a very like no blonde men policy to tattoo.
Ugh.
Like it's at the door, like when you come in.
Yeah.
No shirt, no shoes, no
No
blonde.
blonde. It's like, don't even like look at the ground if you walk by. I'm just kidding. But like a blonde beard, grow the fuck up. Grow up.
I mean,
You obviously also, as I mentioned, have an SVU podcast. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Oh, yeah. It's super fun. It's me and my best friend, Tasha, who's the light of my life. She and me, also known as We, have this podcast where we recap episodes of Law & Order SVU consecutively, mind you. So we're good for a while.
Yeah.
So we do the episode, we recap it. It's comedy, not like making fun of victims and shit. It's like,
Sure.
God, I was on Tinder once, I know. And this guy was like, what kind of podcast? I'm like, Law & Order SVU. And he was like, what? That's fucked up. And I was like, no, it's funny. He blocked me.
wow.
Yeah. We never even met or anything. I was like, what do you think I'm talking about on this?
Probably some blonde guy.
Major blonde guy energy right
Ugh.
there.
Big time.
Puke. Yeah, so we recap episodes. And then at the end, Tasha does a true crime chaser, which is she tries to find what the episode was inspired by or is like similar in content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because not
It's super
everyone's
fun.
ripped from the headlines, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's super fun.
I don't envy her for having to do that part.
Yeah, at first we were going to like go back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not good enough. I'll say with that. You know, she's really like, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I saw this fucking thing and it was like way crazy."
Mhm.
You know, and it wouldn't be anywhere near what it is if she didn't do it. And she gets a boner doing it. She loves it.
She's like research oriented, and you're more like experiencing the thing. Is my guess.
yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's like if I'm gonna hyper focus on something, it's gonna be like I couldn't force myself to focus on something that,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's just I don't know.
No, the true crime aspect of like when they're ripping from the headlines is often so bleak that you're just like, oh god, I don't want to be in this headspace either.
Yeah, but she's really good at it.
How do you like podcasting about SVU?
It's fun. I like the recording part of it with Tasha.
Mm-hmm.
The taking notes
Yeah.
and all that shit fucking drives me nuts. You know?
Oh, I know.
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's just
Uh-huh.
like I don't know. Some weeks I'm like, should we just quit? She's like, yeah. No, of course not. Like when we had our we did a live thing once at that bar I ran into you.
Yeah.
At, which was so
we
weird.
randomly met one time in Madison.
It was so weird.
Because I mean, there's like a drawing of you in all of your podcast artwork, but it's drawing, and so I was like, I mean, I'm in Madison, and I feel like that's Gabe, but like,
I wasn't fucking around about my clothes stuff. Like I am a cartoon character. Like I wear the same. People are like, "Oh, that's Gabe."
yeah.
You
But
know?
I mean, you also have tats, obviously, and so I was like, I knew you were a tattoo artist, and so then I was
Mhm.
like, okay, well, I verified on Instagram quick, like. I didn't want to walk up to you randomly and be like, are you this person? And they'd be like, who the fuck are you talking about? So I did a quick journey to your Instagram while I was sitting at the table in that bar.
But I also don't have like pictures of myself up there either.
Sure, no,
you have
no,
to like
no,
scroll
no.
way down.
Right.
Yeah,
But I was able to confirm my suspicion that it was you.
yeah,
And randomly said hello.
yeah. It was weird 'cause I thought you were just gonna be like a random like, "Oh, are you Gabe? Like, do you tattoo whatever?" You know.
Sure, tattoo person. Yeah.
And then I go like, "Oh yeah, you know, let me hear your ideas."
Gabe, for somebody who's not a hardcore SVU watcher, what defines kind of a perfect SVU episode for you?
Stabler's ass getting thrown around a bunch.
Okay. That's Maloney
Yes.
for our
Christopher
people who
Maloney.
don't know.
Yep,
Okay.
Christopher Maloney
So getting physical?
getting physical. Dude, honestly, when they just get into some dumb shit and it's so like they'll have a whole forensic team there and they never find anything but Benson will just be, like trip over. Oh my God, I found this fucking box of condoms in a or whatever. Yeah. And you're like, the whole, like, CSU was there for hours.
This bloody lead pipe.
Yeah. I found this quarter.
That no one found.
Yeah.
One of these detectives found it, not one of the 70 other cops who have been in this room.
Yeah. God, there was one where there was a straight up, like, neon yellow rain poncho kind of under a branch. Mm-hmm. And Benson was like, oh my God. And CSU had been there, like, we didn't find anything. And I'm like what? Like, where it's just so ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
You're like, come on.
So the clunky writing is like a bit of a thrill for you.
It's my favorite.
It's an endorphin.
Yeah, the like 90s or the early 2000s, like, it's just terrible. It's great. I don't know.
Yeah. No, yeah. I'm there with you.
Yeah. We always call that shit, Jeremy must be in the writing room. We call him Jeremy Wolf. Like, what's that guy's name?
Dick Wolf.
Jesus. Dick Wolf's, like, nephew needed a job, so he, like, gets to go.
So it's a fictitious nephew, nepotistically hired.
Yeah.
And just being like, what if,
exactly. Yeah.
What if, Benson just, pulls a paper out of a notebook and it's the exact piece of evidence they need?
That's exactly what happens, like, every episode.
And they're like, good one, Jeremy. Let's go with that. Please tell your uncle not to fire us.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like, well, I'm gonna go on a Disney cruise now, or whatever the fuck he's always doing. We got a whole thing.
Okay, you have a whole life for Jeremy.
Yeah. Jeremy's for sure a Disney adult.
Yeah.
Gabe, luckily today you don't have to talk too much about SVU.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
You can podcast about something else. You sent a list with a ton of options.
Mm-hmm.
It took Sean and I probably 20 texts and 5 or 6 emails back and forth to decide on what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So Gabe doesn't know.
Gabe does not know.
Okay. But I can give...
Am I going to have to guess what it is? Are you guys going to do
No, we'll tell you. I mean, if you want to guess, go for it, but...
I do kind of want to guess.
Throw it a guess.
No, I mean, you have to give me a hint. And then I go, is it...
Well, I feel like the hint's going to be super obvious.
Should we can give a decade, maybe?
Yeah, we can give a decade.
It's a 90s movie.
90s movie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
God, you guys. Cool.
There were some 80s movies on yours.
Fuck, I don't even remember what I put on there. Never mind, just tell me.
Okay.
One tiny hint, even if it's obvious.
Josh?
I can't think of one because I haven't seen the movie in so long.
No, I think we should let Gabe know.
Okay, tell me.
Fried green tomatoes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember liking this movie a lot as a kid, but I have not seen it since, I don't know, 92 or so.
It was a fierce discussion, though. It was really...
Yeah, there were a lot of... Yeah, we...
went back and forth a lot. But I think Fried Green Tomatoes, for Josh and I, definitely was a movie that everybody saw in the span of 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
In the early 90s, and people talked about it. There were memes before there were memes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We can get into specifics later, but Fried Green Tomatoes was a neutron bomb in terms of widespread.
Yeah, everybody saw it.
Everybody saw.
Was
Fried
it a
Green
book
Tomatoes.
first or no?
I have no idea.
Me either.
We'll find that out next week.
Okay.
But like Josh, I was one of the masses. I saw Fried Green Tomatoes, but it has been 30
plus years, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Gabe, relatively briefly, what do you remember the plot of Fried Green Tomatoes being?
Oh my God, I've watched it so many times. So it's Kathy Bates, right? She's kind of in this interesting spot in her life where she's sort of unhappy-ish. She's got this weird husband. He's not weird, he's nice. But she starts doing things to make herself feel better, and she goes to this retirement home, I think to see her husband's mom, who's a total cunt, and kicks her out of the room all the time. And she comes across this old lady, and this old lady starts telling her stories about her life, and then she ends up coming back and getting involved with this lady and hearing these stories, and it goes back to the lady, it
flashes back.
Yeah. And I just remember Kathy Bates. There's a scene where she was trying to dress sexy for her husband.
I know what you're gonna say.
With a saran wrap. She makes a saran wrap dress, but it's an 80s, like a big bow. And like he's like, "What are you doing?" And she goes to some girl group and she looks at her vagina in a hand mirror. I remember that.
Oh, did not remember that.
Oh yeah, I remember Tawanda. Fucking Tawanda.
I remember the name. I have no frame of reference for what that is anymore.
I think the older lady like used that. She called that her like, I think it was her like alter ego, like Tawanda.
Okay.
And I remember Kathy Bates was at a grocery store and was gonna park, and then these like hot girls in a convertible take the spot. And she's like, "Excuse me," and they're like, "Face it, we're hotter and younger," or whatever. And then she fucking yells Tawanda and like crashes their car or something like that a bunch. These are just like little things that I kind of remember. I kind of remember a lot, I think.
That's way more than I remember.
Yeah.
Kathy Bates at a midlife or a juncture in her life where
Yeah.
she's looking for reason or purpose,
Mhm.
develops a friendship with a woman in a senior citizen home.
Mhm.
And then we start to see the stories that this old woman is saying by going through flashbacks. And then maybe lessons are learned, essentially.
Yeah, she's like telling Kathy Bates the story of this person she knows, but you kind of figure out throughout it that it was actually her.
Gotcha.
And she's like, Iggy? Was her name Iggy? I don't know. She's really good at like getting honey from bees. I remember like bee honey.
Gabe, this sounds a lot like you just woke up from a dream.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
It feels
And you're like,
it.
there's like a woman in saran wrap and
Exactly.
Itchy.
She's like screaming
there's,
about
like,
this person named
There's
Tawanda.
a car. They're creaming a car, and then there's a honey and the bees.
Yeah.
This is great. Yeah, this is exactly why we don't tell you the movie ahead of time.
Well, and you're saying that you'd watched a bunch of the other ones, 100 times or whatever. That tends to have me be like, okay, well, maybe we don't do that one.
Uh-huh.
Just because I want the sort of like, oh wait, this is what the movie was, the sort of revelation for you as the guest.
Mm-hmm.
I think that stuff is super fun.
Yeah. Ooh, I remember what's her face gets pregnant and her fucking shit husband kicks her down the stairs and then they kill him and serve him at the
Is that Daryl Hannah?
No.
No, you'll see.
Okay.
The Whistle Stop Cafe. That's right.
And that it was a book, so I do know
Oh.
that.
Okay.
The whole title was Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. So, ding, ding, ding. You remember that aspect of it.
The train cutting off that guy's leg. No, her son's leg.
This is all still part of the dream. It's just like these little moments that are like flittering through your mind right now.
Mm-hmm.
Josh has some specific questions, though. We're going to try
Yes.
to walk you through young Gabe.
So how old were you when Fried Green Tomatoes was a fixture of your youth?
I don't know.
Like, do you remember the first time you saw it?
When did it come out?
91?
Let's see. So I was like 9? No, wait. Yes. That's math. 9. I don't know. Around there.
I'm assuming you didn't see it in the theater and you saw it like when it was...
Yeah, I'm sure.
So this was a video or came on TV, or do you remember going to the video store and grabbing it? Do you think you saw it through the family, something that you would have rented on your own?
No, I'm sure my mom rented it or something, which is
Okay.
kind of weird because we grew up like real Christian, so we didn't get to like watch a lot of like secular shit. But I suppose this is when my parents were like coming out of that.
Was this something that would have needed to be pre-screened, or do you think that you were there when they were seeing it for the first time?
I don't know. I could text my mom.
For next week,
I
maybe.
could call her.
Text for next week.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah,
Just to see what she remembered, if she remembers anything about it.
Yeah.
but you did say that you watched it a lot, though.
Yeah, it's like just a good movie. I've seen it a
Mm-hmm.
bunch.
Did you guys have it on video?
No,
Okay.
like as an adult too.
That
Yeah.
meant going to the video store, right?
I don't know.
Or,
Yeah.
So either if you didn't own it, you were going back and re-renting it, or it was just part of TV, like maybe cable or something.
Probably that.
Okay. So you had movie channels.
It was like, ooh. Well, no, we didn't have movie channels, but they had commercials and stuff.
Okay.
You know, like
Yeah.
what is
Yeah,
it
you were
called?
watching a
What's that?
TV at it, like TBS, or did you guys have cable growing up, or just like the antenna channels?
Half and half.
Okay.
My parents came into more money a little bit later, so you know what I mean. Like
yeah,
we're
they
like
robbed a
let's-
bank when you were like 12. And,
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hold on. I'm gonna take a note. Ask mom about Friday.
How long do you think it's been since you've seen it?
15, 20 years maybe.
Okay.
But for some reason that movie, like I think about it a lot. It like sticks in my brain.
What do you think it was about it that appealed to you?
I think because I related so much to that little Iggy fucking chick, whatever her name was, Iggy? It was Iggy. Yeah.
And is that
Okay.
Mary Stuart Masterson? I think maybe it's one of the two.
That's Tasha's game. I don't know names. I
We'll
know that
find
she was in an episode of SVU
Law and Order?
recently.
Yeah. She's a recurring like doctor or something.
Yes. And I was like, God, that chick looks familiar.
That would be Mary Stuart Masterson because we just
Yep.
saw her in an episode.
And then the other one was that chick from Weeds who does not age.
Parker, right?
Parker?
Yeah,
Mary Louise Parker.
Yeah.
So women with 3 names,
Yes.
Yeah.
big part of this movie, except for the older ones. What were some of the favorite movies of young Gabe aside from Fried Green Tomatoes? Like, what was the world that you were living in that you like? If we asked Gabe what top 5 movies would have been,
In the well, it
In
depends
that
on
era.
Like when you were growing up, yeah.
yeah,
yeah, like if teen years.
Sure, teen years, yeah.
Like Tank Girl was probably one of my all-time favorite movies. I wanted to be Tank Girl. Fucking SLC Punk I watched a bunch, but that was a little bit later, I suppose. 19 I watched Evil Dead, and then that was a whole spiral into
Sure.
Bruce Campbell. Young Gabe? I don't know. I was Blue Lagoon, dude. Oh my
Okay.
god. For some reason we had Blue Lagoon at our house, and I was just like,
In a Christian household?
yeah, I don't know why it was there.
we'll have to unpack that a little bit.
Yeah. And I watched the fuck out of that because I was just like,
Look, we
I
were
mean,
both
hot.
kids. We were
And
both
hot.
kids. We saw Blue Lagoon.
There is
Yeah.
something very Adam and Eve about that movie.
yeah. They're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what is my body doing? Let's figure it out together. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's figure it out together, you guys. You know?
Yeah, it's way less creepy to watch it then than it is
now
like
yeah.
I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, Blue Lagoon was Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Oh,
But
That's probably why it was allowed.
maybe it wasn't. I mean,
oh my god, and Far and Away was my jam.
okay.
I had this this is embarrassing. I had this crush on Tom Cruise, but it was my first crush where it felt like I could teeter over into obsession and like psychotic, like, and I was like young, and I was like, this
You
is
wanted
safe.
to take a peek under that bowl.
That dude, oh my god, I have like full body chills right now. I cannot believe you just said that.
Yeah.
I was literally talking about the sound that the bowl made on his skin when she lifted it up. That
Yeah.
seeped into my body. I remember it to this day. Sorry about that.
Gotta take a look. Had to take a peek. She was gonna marry the guy. She had to check the merchandise.
Whoever did that who are those people that makes the noises in the background?
Foley.
That person should have gotten an Oscar or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, we should actually check to see who won.
They probably have a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh, for just that, like,
Yep.
like,
It's like the cellophane off of a fruit roll up.
Also, she wasn't gonna marry the guy. She stabbed him in the leg because he was
No,
hiding
but
in her
Kidman
barn.
was gonna marry Cruz.
Oh, that's right. She did. That's where the movie that they met.
No, they
Yeah.
met on Days of Thunder the
Oh,
year before.
Right. Yeah.
oh, I didn't know that.
That
Yeah.
was Far and Away was the first one where they're actually a couple though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and him with the Irish accent and the fighting and like
The bare knuckle boxing, yeah. of
Oh,
course.
man.
Well, that'll be the next time you come back.
I think I was a horny little kid, dude. Honestly.
I mean, who wasn't though? Like
yeah, you're right. I should have been more.
we both found ways to see Blue Lagoon. You know, like, and the only reason, like, that was certainly one that we considered because, like, frankly, it's just less creepy if it's a female guest than a male guest.
Yeah,
Like,
and-
I don't want to
yeah.
do Blue Lagoon with a male guest. Like,
And
uh,
Listener, before we started recording, we were talking about the breasts of an animated chicken. Just
Okay.
heads up.
Yeah. I'm making another note right here for my mom. Why did we have Blue Lagoon in the house?
Don't make sure it's not an accusatory question when you ask.
Yeah, we'll have to find out a little bit about this.
I'll say thank you for that. Thank you though.
Yeah.
But I think Fried Green Tomatoes was. I mean, there's a lot of heavy stuff in it.
That's a lot.
From my memory, there's a lot going on in that movie. There's a lot of adult themes. So yeah, it is going to be interesting to know how that kind of passed the goalie in young Gabe's life that you
Mhm.
were able to see it, because
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are movies that maybe you can recall that you weren't able to see at that age that you wanted to. What was it? Sex? Was it violence? Was it language? Was
All
it
of that shit, you know?
Okay.
Was PG-13 generally gonna slide by though?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because I think PG-13 is different than it was.
I don't think
You know?
PG-13 slides by easily in a heavy Christian household.
Oh, I was just hypothesizing as to
Yeah.
why this might, because this was PG-13 if I remember correctly.
But, I mean, my parents kind of fucked up with that shit because, like, they rented Watership Down one time when we were kids, not knowing,
Sure.
you know? And we were all like, ah! You know? And they were like, oh, and I remember them being like, oh my God, like, and turning it off. And I was like,
Mhm.
I have to see more, you know? And my mom let me watch Of Mice and Men with her, and I cried for like 2 days straight.
That's heavy too. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, why do they have to? I just wanted to pet the rabbits. You know, my mom was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You know?
So what memories do you have that stick out most about Fried Green Tomatoes?
Just Iggy, just being like a little ragtag kid and playing baseball and like not wanting to wear dresses and just her like doing her own shit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And her friendship with this lady.
Yeah.
You know? And the killing of the husband and the barbecuing him and serving him to people. Yeah.
Now, you said in the emails back and forth that this was sort of like an awakening for you. Do you want to talk about that
Awakening?
at all? Yeah,
An
you
awakening?
talked that it was a sexual awakening, kind of.
Fried green tomatoes?
Yeah.
Are you sure I talked about that, or was I talking about?
Talking about
Literally.
the bowl.
It was other things too, but
The
there was something
bowl.
about Fried Green Tomatoes.
Oh, I guess a little bit because there's a little bit of a lesbian undertone to the friendship that I did. I kind of was like, you can do that, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But that's hard to like.
Hard to pin down. It's more like a subconscious thing, maybe.
Yeah, it was probably just like that time in my life where you're just figuring out. It felt a little like, are they gonna kiss at
Mhm.
any moment? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, like any scene with Benson and Cabot.
oh yeah. But it was something cooler about it
SVU
being
reference.
yeah. But it's something cooler about it being like two chicks for me at the time, you know?
Yeah.
So
And I'd imagine, given your growing up in a Christian household, like you were probably a little bit sheltered from that, especially in the era.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
There is in Fried Green Tomatoes too that definite like demarcation between one character being like follow the path
Mm-hmm.
and like don't even. I mean, there's no possibility in any world for a non-heterosexual relationship, right? And then there's the tomboy and the bad girl, the bad
Mhm.
boy,
Mm-hmm.
pushing boundaries. And like, I could see a young person like finding kinship in one of those two characters, either the one that's like, oh, I know this path I'm supposed to follow. This is the playbook. My parents have told me how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like the temptation, not maybe even on a sexual level, but like the temptation just to stray.
Mm-hmm.
Temptation to not follow a playbook.
And I remember like always my whole life being like, well, I wanted to be like the one girl that was like, I do this and this and this. You know, I've always wanted to like be like that, but I just never could. It turns out I'm fucking diagnosed ADHD with a little touch of autism. And I'm not saying that like because everybody's like, oh, I'm ADHD, you know.
Sure.
Like it's diagnosed, you know.
Mhm.
And it just makes a lot of sense why I just never been able to do the things that I'm supposed to
Right.
do it in the way I'm supposed to do it.
Mhm.
So I related a lot to both of them, as in like I felt like I was the itchy person, but I wanted to be like that chick.
Okay, sure.
You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Absolutely. What expectations do you have for your return to Fried Green Tomatoes?
A good time, man. It's gonna be a good watch. I'm excited. It's been a while.
More than I think most of the movies we've done, I'm actually expecting to like this from a filmmaking standpoint too. Like,
Yeah.
I think this will probably hold up, but I have no idea.
Yeah. See, those ones are like hard because they flash back to a time when like it's like expected to say and be like racist or homophobic because it's taking place in that time frame. So
Right.
it's like it holds up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Yeah.
But I bet you it's gonna. We could be surprised though, because that's how it always is.
Yeah, this will be the time that I have the expectation of it being good, and oh man,
Yeah.
This'll douse my hopes too.
Yeah.
Do you have any expectations, Sean?
Like as a kid, I remember this being a good movie. Like
Same.
full stop.
Yeah.
So again, we always talk about like, oh, you were just a kid, like your whole barometer was fucked up back then. So who knows what was really good, what wasn't. Like
Right.
that can happen, but like I've been really surprised on just personal, just me level when I really liked something as a kid, remember liking it, revisiting it, and being completely disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. Like I generally have kind of felt like my assessment as a kid has generally held true. That's just where I'm
just
at.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember liking it as a kid. I'm gonna say if I had $5, I'd put it on liking this movie again.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of like, it's obviously a lot of like feminism and stuff, and like her being like saying like learning to say no to her husband and like doing things for herself. But that can also be like things for yourself is like getting skinny or something. You know what I mean? So who knows?
Yeah. It'll just be a like body like problematic like body image wise or
Yeah.
something.
I think that we're all gonna like it, but maybe feel a little guilty about it at the end, or something.
Okay.
Like
okay. Yeah.
there might be spots where we're like, "Oof," but I still like it. It's still a classic.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. 33 years can change a lot of fucking things. Like society's sort of way that it views things has evolved pretty considerably since 1991.
Right. What if we hate it? What if we're like, ugh, what a snooze fest?
Gabe, that's the magic of Unkind Rewind.
Yeah.
What if we hate it? Which is like, it's like the subtitle to this podcast.
Yeah.
What if we hate it? That's the risk that you're taking. We have asked you to put your chips on the table and come revisit this part of your youth. And it could very well happen.
Yeah.
There are things that could be reaffirmed for you. There are things that can shatter your innocence of this time. But, that's why we make you sign the waiver.
Yeah. I need a good shattering, so it's fine.
Yeah.
That's ooh.
So, where can our listeners find you on the internet, Gabe?
Oh, on Instagram, I'm at Gabe Joyner. Not even like,
And that's with a
tattoo or
Y,
anything.
right?
Yes.
Mhm.
And
Get Joyners with a Y. Sorry, there's no Y in Gabe.
yeah,
There could be. No, it's actually
But there
good.
isn't.
that's
But
how
there
my
isn't.
that's how my neighbors pronounce it. Let's see. And then the podcast is at SVU Pod. Oh my god, these fucking F-35s, I think.
Oh, okay. It's like military aircraft?
Yeah, we have a little like
Okay.
air base
Sure.
thing where. Yeah, and then the podcast is at SVU Pod everywhere. I think if you just Google my name, I'll pop up and stuff too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of Gabe Joyners out there, so it's not like Joe Smith or anything. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
Or Josh anything.
Josh. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Or Sean McGrath, honestly. There are like a million Sean McGraths.
Mostly in Ireland.
Mostly in Ireland.
Yeah.
Well, Gabe, thank you for joining us this week and
Sure thing.
next week, obviously, where you will be fully opening up your childhood to the possibility of ruination through the Unkind Rewind.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.
We're so glad to have you.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good one.
I think it is too, yeah.
I do have high hopes,
Yeah.
which I don't normally.
Which I don't think Sean's ever said.
No. God, help us.
Does anybody have any other questions I should ask my mom about this that I can think of about the? When did we watch it?
I would like just kind of if she had a general rule about what movies you could see if things needed to be watched beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
What was her barometer for a movie that you could see? That's really fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll ask her.
This is maybe the first one where we've had like multiple questions to ask other people.
To ask my mom, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna ask my dad because he'll be like, "Oh, we did all that." He doesn't remember shit, so
Yeah.
he thinks he's done stuff that he hasn't done. It's like, or if I'm like, "Remember when you did this?" He's like, well, "No." I'm like, "Yeah."
Kids remember.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I live with someone who doesn't remember anything, so it's fun.
Yeah.
You can get away with a lot.
No. Shockingly, no.
Shockingly, yeah.
Yeah.
Remembers that
It's-
stuff.
It's a constant, point of contention.
Remembers
where we're
nothing
always
but everything.
yes, yeah, no, this is absolutely how it happened, and it needs to, I need to be able to find, proof.
Yeah,
It's fun.
you
Yeah,
need
it's
you need
fun.
you need CCTV running, dude.
Yeah. For 25 years.
Yeah,
Super grainy, and then you bring it back up. You're like, that's not me.
That's a deep
some
fake.
kind of SVU shit.
Yeah.
You found
where
this
you can
quarter?
zoom in way better than you should ever be able to zoom in. It's early
Yeah.
SVUs so much that.
or not at all. It's you
Yeah.
can't have they're enhance,
Right.
and you're like, oh my god, they have a pimple, and then you're like, I don't know who that is. That's who's that? It could be an alien. It could be the thing from fucking Science walking across. You're like, what? I found this quarter in a field, but I can't figure out what your fucking eye color is or whatever. It's fucking weird. All right.
Well, Gabe, thank you for joining us. Looking forward to watching this and getting back together next week.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
we'll see you on the other side, Gabe.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, guys.
That was another installment of the Unkind Rewind, mining our childhood for content, one film from a guest's past at a time. Unkind Rewind is a Munchcasts production and can be listened to wherever you download your podcasts and watched on the Unkind Rewind YouTube channel. Music for this and every other episode of Unkind Rewind was composed by Divorcio Suave. Rate, review, like, and subscribe to Unkind Rewind on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and Good Pods. Links to all of our social media accounts are in our show notes, but you'll find us as @Unkind Rewind Pod on Letterboxd and nearly every social media platform, all of which can be found at our website, unkindrewind.com. If you have a question, concern, complaint, or feedback, you can email the podcast at unkindrewindpod@gmail.com or call into our call-in line, area code 507-479-6440, and leave a message that can be played on air. Fans should join the Munchcast Discord to discuss this or any other episode of the Unkind Rewind with like-minded people. This dialogue may just make it into a future episode of the pod. The Unkind Rewind Patreon will be coming soon, so start squirreling that pocket change away. Thank you for listening to the Unkind Rewind.